There we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Project JR, aka Jacques, Wolfman, Willie, Pierre. Welcome, boys. Um, Final race, ACC console, Wednesday night championship, and looking at the leader of the champion, Michael Stefanak, who's been a demon this season. So I reckon he can potentially just sit back, relax, have a good night, call it a day, and still win. But nonetheless, enough of me, enough of him. Hello, Paul. Welcome to you. Back to see you on the mic again.
Hello, boss man. Yes, finally. What was that? Like a 3-week break that I ran away and watched the stream and yeah, just absolutely missed everything. Come back and Michael Stefanak basically decided to say, well, boys, give it to me. I'll take it and I'll run away.
Yeah,
I guess that's a championship highlight. Done. Let's go home.
missing car sounds. There we go. Car sounds is on. I nearly missed that for a moment. Now we can hear car sounds on the stream. Um, yeah. So that, I was there was this has been a very interesting series, more challenging to those that have never driven a car that they weren't ever used to. Some individuals found a very good, comfortable pace with their new cars. Michael is one of them. Um, and then of course we got a couple of new boys as well here tonight who joined us just to fill up a bit of a grid. So I go hashtag blame Eskim for everything at this moment.
Yes, yeah, no. There's a few new faces. I think it's going to be interesting trying to pronounce some of the names. Like, what's it? Davies? No, Davies is a regular.
Yeah,
It's
David
Davies is
is
a
in
good
it.
look at the Goede Herde. That
Yeah,
sounds like like he's Dutch. Must be Dutch.
it sounds very Dutch, huh? De
The
Goede
very
Herder.
the Goede Herde must be Dutch. He has to be
Yes.
Dutch. It can't be anything else. We've decided you are Dutch.
Yeah, if you're not, apologies, but
Yeah,
that's
apologies for you, but yeah, but no, it's good. But yeah, there's a few boys. I think it was about 6 boys that said they can't race tonight. I guess all kinds of reasons. All
mm,
the SA boys, most probably it is because Eskom has not blessed them with power tonight. So yeah, but I think we will be in for a interesting race, a fun race, and from the looks of it, the McLaren seems to have the slight upper hand. So maybe Michael will get a challenge tonight from the rest of the field here.
they will. And again, these boys only have like a 5 minute qualifying session, so that's sort of in a session time frame where it's like one out lap, one hot lap, and then if you can get it in, you could potentially do 2 laps for a qualifying. So you got to make sure your first out lap is a good banker and not cross the line and miss it completely. So tough challenges that these guys have to foresee. Things are-
Yeah, no, definitely. 5 minutes. I think they thought we were mad when we said to them, you get 5 minutes to qualify, and they were all like, "What?" So yeah,
Yeah,
they've made the best of it. That's
they
for
have.
sure. It's been entertaining to see, and last time we don't have to do it again after this week for now.
For now. But again, it's kind of bringing that whole hot lap qualifying scenario in the mix. I mean, everyone that works in with those PC racing on PC simulation. I mean, we fairly known for doing hot lap qualifying. So you got to have that one lap wonder, and you got to start doing it. And this is giving these boys a bit of that spectrum so that they can do what needs to be done. Otherwise, they'll sit at the back of the pack.
Yeah, exactly. So just on that, I'm thinking. So Wintle currently puts it on provisional pole. Um, but I'm looking at the track conditions and I see the track condition says greasy.
Yes, it does.
And there's wind blowing at 5 kilometers an hour. And it's cloudy. I am seriously wondering if we might get some rain. And I think that might just completely spanner this whole situation for these poor boys.
It does. Coming out of a track, they were doing very well in the pre-practice session where I saw the boys eating the 59s in on a fast track. So, yeah, greasy is not easy on Silverstone in any given circumstances. As flat as it is, not gonna make it easy. I mean, at 204 there by Grimjaw, is a good lap and a great banker. He seems to be the only one that was managing to put it on there. A couple of few guys still needs to do what they have to do. So a few things can potentially change now over the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, so everyone's basically on their final flyer, so it should be good to see if anyone can. Well, as we said, that Bastard Dog goes and reach barely a tenth quicker than Grimjaw. I'm patiently. Oh well, there we go.
Michael putting it on pole. Michael being the man of consistency this championship. So that is a good time for him. That's a dog in top two. Ah, there we
Well,
go.
look
Jake's
at
Fatty
Jake.
Cockney bring it back in the Ferraris. For some other weird reason, the Ferraris have just brought their A game well and far behind the McLarens. Still a couple of boys in the McLarens that needs to do what they have to do. This is Rapadak was quick in the free practice session. Will he manage to put it up there? No, not at all.
Wow, that's not a great lap from him, and the rest aren't able to get a completed lap. So interesting grid to start with. Michael in pole, Jake's in second, and we've got a sunny track with fast conditions, but still a bit cloudy. So I guess they all breathing a sigh of relief that it's not raining.
No, it's not. There's a smidgen of wind there, so good wind. I think all the boys would be happy that it's not raining. Again, I am hoping it will because I would love to see it. We've just been so unfortunate trying to do these variable races where we get that
Yeah,
mix of rain versus sun kind of thing. So, all I can do is hope for the best. Let's see how it goes.
it,
So, top
it's
three, what? Michael, Jakes, and De Goedenharder.
yes,
That
within 2 tenths. That
within two
is
tens.
that is as close can be. Excellent quality there from Bassadog to put it in fourth place. I mean that's
Yeah, that
proper.
I reckon that's the highest he's been the whole season.
Yeah,
So
I almost think so too. And then just checking out the boys here on chat box. Welcome all you guys, Jockey, Willie, Pierre, and Ash. Everyone's joined to come and watch the fun show.
and fun it is. And again, I went down the whole grid thing, and I just could not see the likes of Gaspig, RVR, and I see they just
They
could not.
deciding to start
Yeah,
from the back,
aside from
maybe.
the back, probably. Well, Gaspig went out for a lap, went back into the pits. I assume RVR did 2 laps. None of them actually
30
counted.
seconds.
J23 INT, nothing from him. Neither did Hals. So some individuals did struggle. Could have was expected to be there in the
20
front.
seconds.
Um, so I think this is going to be an interesting start. I do hope we don't see a scenario of a Lewis Hamilton corner one
10
incident.
seconds.
Um,
Yes, I'm also hoping it's a clean. But the console boys, as far as I'm aware, has behaved on lap one. Um, so let's hope we can get a clean first couple of corners again.
yeah, they have. I got to give a big thumbs up to them throughout the previous season and along with this season that they have been exceptional driving at LNR. And even with where they all drive, whether it's Sarko or SSR, these boys have brought their A game in 2 consecutive seasons. So big thanks to them for doing that. I think they've given the boys at PC a bit of a stick because they can do it and PC boys can't, which was proven wrong yesterday. So, however.
Yeah, the PC boys tried. We tried. But here we go.
No, again for those on the stream that hasn't watched last night's race from the PC Logistical Nightmare Team versus Team Championship. We had a 30 car grid on Alton Park GT3s. I have to admit it was a spectacular race, eventful start to finish. If you haven't had the time to go back out there and have a look at that streaming channel. Well, tonight we're going to focus on these boys. Final race for them. Um, Normally I would have the championship standings up here somewhere. I don't think I had time to save it.
I have no idea. While you're looking for the points there, it's good to see that our good friend from Australia, Red Butler, is going and going strong, sitting in 8th place. I think he's probably one of the most excited guys on every Wednesday when it's race day for the console side. The man wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning to come and race, so that always is fun.
Oh wait, there we go. Managed to find the point. So the
Go.
point standing. Oh, I need to maybe move this a bit. Can't really see all of it. It needs a bit of an adjustment because all the races is now back in there. So these are the current standings from where we stood. So Michael Stefanik is, I would probably say, reigning new champion.
There we go.
Um,
I
I don't think
agree.
anyone's going to catch him on this grid. Grimjaw, on the other hand, is currently in second place. He's being chased down by Kudu Vast. We also have Rapid Tag, Alroy Serrano, Springbok Gamer, who's not here this evening. Sadly, we're going to miss him. Danny Madan is also not here this evening. Cerro Racer is also not here this evening. I reckon it's up to the top 5 boys on the points list to do what they can to better themselves for the championship. Well, in all fairness, it seems open race for everyone else.
Yeah, I think definitely between the 3rd to 5th place, it's only 10 points between those three drivers. So I reckon they will be fighting it out for bragging rights who will get that final podium position.
And kind of sits where it sits, huh? The 75 minutes of Silverstone.
That's a long
Michael's,
race.
it feels long. I look at it and go like, 75 minutes feels so long.
Didn't we say last season we're not going to do that long final race?
We did. I reckon we had a long discussion about this. We went like, because I think our last season stream that we did went like, oh wait, why is it 60 minutes? And then somehow the weird reason we now made this 75 minutes. So I think we contradicted ourselves completely. Like,
Now that I think about it, yes, we somehow said we're not going to do that again, and
yes,
here we are.
here
We've
we are.
done it again.
But
Absolutely awesome.
I reckon next season we do a 30-minute final race.
Yeah, quick 20-minute sprint in, out, and we go home. You know,
yeah,
have a beer.
Laguna Seca or something.
Right, we're about to start, so let's see what happens here at the start. Will Michael take it from pole and take it into turn 1, or will Jake jump him and possibly be able to slow down the Michael train?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big question this evening.
And we are going, but no, Michael looks like he's got the jump.
Ooh, contact
Michael
made immediately there by Jakes. Those two boys.
Okay, Jakes is back on track. Michael has dropped
quite a bit. He sits there in the last mix.
I'm not really sure exactly what happened there.
I would probably go that it seemed to me in the eye view point of view that Michael was in the corner, Jakes was also in the corner, but both of them wanted to have an apex, and then Michael got rear tapped by Jakes from his front right, so probably a peripheral vision thing. But yes, now the two Ferrari boys are at the back of the pack, and we've got Assetto in the lead.
Basser in his Bentley, and he's like, oh, hey, I'll take that. Let's go.
Yeah, again, we hoped and prayed for no Hamilton Verstappen move, and yet we
got exactly.
Okay, we got exactly that. Space, boys, space. Corner 1, Formula 1. Assetto is on the move, though. Like, he's already created a second gap between himself and Alroy Serrano, who is being heavily battled there with De Goed and Harder chasing him down, and of course Grimjaw is in the mix as well.
Yeah, Grimjaw's up to 3rd, and he was really chomping there at Alroy to get past him. So gonna be interesting to see what happens here.
And it's kind of weird. So we had the 3 Ferraris at the front of the grid. 2 of them decided to love tap each other, and then the Goed and Herder stayed away from all the contact that was made. Now he's only dropped 1 position. But that brings everyone that was behind those boys. Now that's Bassadov, Elwood, and Grimjaw to leapfrog the whole front grid.
Yeah, that's it. And then if you see Michael sitting there in fifth place, and he's trying to catch back up to these boys. Oof! While Grimjaw kind of cut that one corner completely there.
That's it.
So yeah, Michael's trying to catch back up, and he's got Rapid Duck behind him. Hopefully, Rapid can stick with him to try and go with this front group. And then Gav from basically second last, and he's up to sixth place.
Yeah, Gaffrey has made quite a bit of places at the moment. So I
The
would believe
Fuden
this.
Herder has lost it. The Fuden Herder has lost it. He's dropped to eighth. Him and he's now dropped to just before Jake, so he's lost it somewhere there. I think through the maggots and liquid. It seems like it. I'm not seeing any damage, which is a good thing.
No.
He should be able to just track on there.
Yeah, that's probably one of those scenarios where you just overestimate coming into maggots and beckets, which will unsettle your car a bit, give you a bit of that oversteer, and then all you do is you lose your rear end. And again, that's predominantly loan on the MR cars going through there. They're not that stable there, but if you can get the hang of it, it's actually quite good.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, so let's see. So Michael is 3.5 seconds behind Grimjaw. So let's see how quickly he starts closing down that gap and whether some of that damage will hamper his speed at the moment. But Bast Dog, he seems to have just pulled away. He's like, if I'm reading this correctly, 3.2 seconds ahead of Alroy. He's
Yes.
just motoring away.
I'm like, I'm at the point where I need to go. Can someone check this guy on PlayStation and just make sure it's the same man driving this? Like,
Yeah.
he is on the move. This is probably what I would call the best start for Bassadog in any race this whole season.
Yeah, no,
Even
definitely.
it's
Unless he's decided to not fully fuel and go 50-50 on his fuel load and decide he's gambling and he might take some rubber at the halfway point.
mm,
He might be on a different strategy to everyone else. So that's also what we're probably going to have to keep in mind is that they only had to fuel or take some fuel, and most of them might not make the 75-minute mark, so would need to put in a couple of liters. But I think the boys, the gamble's going to come who is going to take tires and who's not going to take tires.
that is the big question. Again, big battle here. Takura lost another position to the McLaren. He's trying to get that position back. Big dive into the corner. Of course, the Davari being very clever, letting him through, going like, you can have that, but let's see if you can come back to him into what I would call the centered corner. Knowing that Jakes is also in the mix now. Jakes got a bit of damage, it seems. Whoops, missing that. Come camera. Anyone sending it in this section? Not really.
Not particularly. I do see that Brett is in the pits. I don't know if he... no. Is he in the pits? Yeah, he seems to be in the pits. I'm not sure if that's strategy or whether he's had some sort of an incident that's put him back in the pits.
Yeah, that would be quite unfortunate. Now again, if that is a strategic move that could be to his benefit. I mean, these boys can do anything they want throughout this race as long as they do their pit stop, put a bit of fuel in, get out the pits and let it go. Now Butler has been in the pits for quite a while. Ooh, that looks painful. Like it really looks like this old Mercedes went flying, rolled upside down, and
that Merc is seriously dead. That looks quite severe. That he might be in the pits for a while there.
That is for sure. Now I would love to know what has happened there because I honestly didn't see anyone taking each other out.
It does seem like Rapid Duck, has he left the race? I see he's dropped a comment in the chat. So I'm not seeing him on the grid anymore. So did he decide to end his race early? maybe he and Brett had a bit of a coming together and his car was murdered as well.
Oh, no, it, that is unfortunate. Um, that has happened though. Like again, incidents and accidents do occur, but again, sad to see that in the scenario. As the top, well, second and third place boys still battling it out. Alroy being very defensive coming into the corner. And he was unsettled going into that final corner, but managed to pull himself together to get ahead of that Aston Martin. Michael, on the other hand, looks quite comfortable where he is at the moment. And then he's got
Yeah,
Gav Peak slowly creeping in on him.
yeah, Michael's pulling the guys back in, but not as quick as what I expected. I think he's taken about 2 laps to gain about a second on Grimjaw. So, I mean, at the same time, Bassadog has pulled another just over 2 seconds out of Alroy. So he's not making inroads into Bassadog in front though. So I definitely think these boys are on different strategies. And while we're looking at Gavin, he's beautifully purple GTR Skyline Godzilla-esque car there. More boys have joined us on the stream, so how's it, Niall and Stradom? Welcome to the madhouse that we call console.
Now that's a big cool console.
Yeah, it's definitely. Oh, and it looks like the Goede Hoender has lost it again in the background. I saw him doing a 360. Yeah, there he comes. So he's dropped a place to Dalvez. So Dalvez has definitely taken a spot there from him. And I think Kuda has also got him past. So Kuda has passed as well.
Yeah, a few boys have passed. So Davaish C is still battling it on. Jakes Fatikaki has passed him now in 7th place. Davaish is going to be under severe pressure there by Kuduvaz at the moment. I did see someone on the chat. I reckon it's Milos. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. He's here rooting for Davaish. So good to see some support from outside the racing side, for people coming in and saying hello and supporting their good friends racing here. So I love seeing that.
Yeah, no, it's great to see the boys supporting their friends, man. That's always good to see. So yeah, straight on wanting to know why so many of the cars look like they've got damage. So it's some racing shenanigans and some of the guys just losing it. I think majority of maggots affected. So fun times at the moment on this track that is now optimum. So yeah, and I see the temperature is slowly creeping up, so it's going to get interesting and possibly a bit greasy as it progresses.
Yeah, certainly. And again, these boys, again, this is mid-pack racing, and I mean, they really giving each other some good stick this evening. Jake seems to be slowly pulling away. Alroy, and oh, there we go. Grimjaw going for a big move on the outside. Does that Aston Martin have the legs to do so? Does seemingly this is a straight line speed dice is what we would call it. Can Alroy bring in an undercut? Seemingly not so. Great maneuver there though.
Looks like the Aston got it. The Aston got it done.
Yeah.
And what we'll say, brute force power is what was used there. He muscled his way past.
He probably did, and I think Alroy just got a bit twitchy out of maggots and brackets there, which would have potentially caused that. Unless you know that, well, unless you're going to tell me that the Bentley is slow on Silverstone, which I hope is not the case.
I don't believe so. I do think that it's got some legs there, so it should not have an Aston blowing past it as if it looks like it's going in reverse.
Exactly.
But between them and Gav, it's only 2 seconds, just over 2 seconds from Gav to Grimjaw. So I think Grimjaw started seeing the boys in the back catching up, and he kind of put down a proper move to get past him, and he can take this, so he can try and pull away. Because Bassadog is having it all his way in the front. He's 8.5 seconds ahead of these guys, 5 laps into the race.
Yeah, and
He is just giving it absolute stick at the moment.
yes, I'm really sitting and wondering whether he now has a far different setup to anyone else, because an 8-second gap within not even the first 15 minutes of the race, as opposed to Alroy, who's trying to battle his way through an Aston, a Ferrari, and now soon to be a Nissan on his rear end, is really two different strokes of individuals.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting, and I'm quite keen to see when the 50% mark of this race arrives, who pits, who doesn't pit, who's taking tires, who's not taking tires, because at the moment I've got a feeling the boys from second to first place seem to be on the same strategy, whereas I think Bassadog has thrown caution to the wind and he's gone with the aggressive setup, low fuel, max grip, and he's just going to try and see if he can pull away far enough to be able to use that to his advantage.
Mm. And that's ooh, I almost gave a bit of a bark there in your ear. Yeah, that's certainly what's going to count. But the other factors to think about here this evening is, when are these boys going to pit? What is going to happen at their pit stop? Because again, some guys, like you say, Bazadok, maybe he wants to go and get another set of tires, which I think might give him a bit of a advantage leap ahead, considering he's got about a 9-second gap already. So
Yes.
yes, he will lose a bit, but he will have fresher tactics. The speed he's doing at this moment is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
I think if he's changing tires and if these guys don't, when they get to the 50-55 minute mark, they're going to be in trouble, because
they
it's
are.
at that point where their rubber's going to start falling off and he's going to be laughing and smiling because he's still going to have optimum grip levels and he's just going to reel them in. So at this point, he's got such a gap that I think if he just keeps it together, he might be able to walk away with this one tonight.
Yeah,
He might.
he might, and he needs to potentially think about it. I mean, if I was a betting man, that would certainly be on my head at the moment. Is to think about, okay, drive hard now, because your lefts are certainly taking the big hit at Silverstone. It's normally your lefts and not your rights. Even though you're going to battle with your temperatures on your right hand side, keeping them at optimal conditions, your lefts are taking the hammer the whole time. So
So,
I again, that it is climbing down, looking at what Grimjaw is doing. So
I see Grimjaw he's taken about 0.6 out of him on previous laps. So
mm,
you see, this is where it gets confusing. Who is just quick and who might just, who's just who is on a different strategy.
yeah, it is. And going back to the grid, this battle still continues
It's
as well.
still
So
ongoing. He could
the
have passed them both now. He's passed both
yeah,
boys.
Kuda has made a move. He's passed a few individuals. Jakes as well. They kind of on their own in the mid pack now, creating a bit of space. The Goedenharder is now battling with Davesh, and I reckon, ooh, that's a big wide line there by Halstead. Like he
Yeah,
went
that
on off the track nearly to the next airport as he drove there.
I don't know what piece of road he was using over there, but that was not part of the racetrack.
No. And again, it's one of those that has that significant amount of runoff that you can take a wild opportunistic move onto it. But if you do it more than once, you will get penalized. So that's the other thing that these boys are going to think about, is track cuts, track conditions, and so forth. And I think I don't know. I mean, I generally thought that in all fairness, Silverstone is quite kind towards track cut conditions. Very rare that you really get a lot of drive-throughs as opposed to like a track like Spa.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's see how good these boys behave. J23 and his Nissan, yeah, again, new guy on the block. Paul says he's not new. I reckon he is. Um, I can't remember anything anymore. It's like my age is getting back to me slowly but surely. It's in his Nissan though.
Yeah, no, J23, he comes from I think it was the Marmite days. So
Mm.
that's probably about a year and a half ago, because I know Marmite closed down, I think, over a year ago. So, and I mean, I've been on PC for more than a year, and there's probably a good 6, 7 months prior to that. So we're probably looking at, yeah, maybe about close on 2 years.
Wow.
That's the last time I've seen him on track with us. So yeah, it's a long time ago.
Sure. Oh,
Definitely a long time ago. But yeah, he's definitely new to this crowd and group currently on console, because they won't know him at all.
no, they won't, and it seems like he's one of those individuals that support your, I would call it the futuristic color schemes where nothing makes sense.
Yes, that's it. He likes to always be loud, proud, and absolutely just confusing, you know. So that's I like those paint schemes. It's absolutely awesome, beautiful.
I like taking the chances where I can just figure out where I can take the Mickey out of you, just for
That's
the
it.
sake of it. So,
Well,
uh,
Grimjaw's taken 3 seconds out of Bassadog. Oh
he,
boy.
he certainly has, which now makes me wonder: is Alroy the man struggling in keeping everyone behind him?
He's 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 10 seconds behind Bassadog now, Alroy.
Yes.
So Alroy's 10 seconds behind. So he might be the cork in the situation here, that he's holding the guys up, which
Mm.
to the happy days of Bassadog, but yeah, not to the poor boys behind. Because Michael has now caught up and is only half a second behind him. But Gav is still about 1.5 seconds behind there. So if they are planning to get closer to the two boys in front, they're going to definitely have to shuffle this Bentley out the way.
Yes, and this makes it harder. I mean, that's kind of why I'm a big fan of Silverstone. I mean, it is fundamentally so difficult to make a passing maneuver on this track. Because again, there's so many long straights that all you need to do is focus on your 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 slower corners. Make sure you hit your apexes properly through them, and if you can just do that um, as often as you can, then no one will really pass you on a straight. And that's the key difference here. It is that difficult.
Yeah, so it does seem like this Bentley through some of these corners just pulls that slight gap over the Ferrari, and I wonder if that's not maybe some of the damage that's affecting Michael's car's cornering ability. So I think once he does a pit stop, and if he repairs the damage, that will probably be the indication to us whether he then retains his speed advantage that he generally has over the rest of the field here.
Yes, that is true. So again, it's still a long race, 55 minutes left. Um, so these boys are still going to do quite a bit of laps, 10 at the moment. Some of them are going for their 10th lap. Kudu, Bassadog's already through that mix. Again, this is lap 10 for the boys after about 20 minutes of racing. So plenty of action still to come, and I reckon we're just gonna sit back, relax, see where the boys fight it out, and who's actually gonna dive first in the pits. I see RVR went in. Um, do wonder
Yeah,
what his
I
plan is.
hope it's for a pit stop and not to repair damage. But I do see that Gav Fig has taken half a second out of Alroy, so he's basically going to be on the tail of Michael. So that little trio is really starting to get closer. But as I say that, the Gav's gone up to 1.5 seconds again. So he definitely in the final sector seems to have a advantage over Alroy. But Alroy, I think he's got the Bentley running low downforce or something, because he's just pulling away from them on the straight, and then they gain back on him through the corners.
You do. As I just, while you were talking there, taking a peek on what the boys on chat are talking about, all I see is Kota, Kota, and Kota. I would assume this is the big annunciations of getting more tracks on the ACC side, which I hope we will see on console.
Yes, I saw yesterday the guys on Twitter and so on were talking that speculation is September that the PS5 version will get, is it version 1.8? So
Mm-hmm.
that we should have the M4 in it
Mm.
and a new time model for the console guys. So hopefully that is what is to come for them in September.
But that reckon is just for the PlayStation 5 boys. So again, I do feel sorry how this divide is eventually developing between console situations at the moment. So PlayStation 5 getting all the updates, PlayStation 4 probably won't. Again, it's that transition phase. I feel sorry for them, but yeah,
Yeah,
we
that
gotta.
unfortunately they haven't seen an update I think in over a year. So yeah, that is quite sad for them.
That is quite sad, but again, it opens up for more opportunistic races in the console side of it. Um, I had a few discussions on the sideline, and I don't think I've ever talked to you about it. Again, for the boys on stream, and those actually listening through everything else, anyone that do know boys on Xbox, there's plans and ideas in place at the moment that will potentially run both a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Championship on Wednesday nights. So that is in the mix at the moment. We're currently looking at servers and so forth. So again, trying to accommodate everyone that is on console, it seems to be that there is a potential demand for that. Again, never done a Xbox thing. I personally am not an Xbox fan. But again, if they love sim racing, I'll just go, welcome to the family.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that always space for more. Always
Always
space for
space
more.
for more. Yes, let's minimize the divide and conquer with the love of sim racing. I mean, who does not love it? I mean, seriously, look at the racing we are watching at the present moment. I mean, it is just action all the way through.
Must say the Huda is really trying to. He's looking for a way to get past Kuda.
Mm.
That's quite interesting. The Huda and Kuda having a battle there, so that's definitely going down. And I feel like we've been sitting here for 10 minutes waiting for this battle to develop between
Yes.
Al, Michael, and Gavpig. And every time I think, okay, it's gonna happen, then somehow Alroy just pulls the NOS button and pulls away from Michael. But Michael now seems to be on that half second behind him. So I think he's probably now able to jump onto the tail of that Bentley and start to harass him. And let's see if he gets by easily and whether that then brings Gavpig closer.
Yeah, gotta have a closer look and to see where he potentially does lose time. He is far closer to the Bentley now at this moment. This seems to be going to be a race down the straight. Alroy going defensive. Ah, tough
Is the
one to
Ferrari
go.
going to go around the outside? He's trying. He's
He's
trying.
trying. That is a tough ask though. Good racing
He's
by these
held.
boys.
Oh, no, no. He was not able to hold that. I really
Oh,
thought if he held that, it would have been close. But with them doing that, Gavpig is like, yes, yes, keep battling.
keep
He is,
battling. So
yeah.
again, Gavpig is reeling them in little by little. That was a very brave move by Michael there, trying to hit it on the outside. Again, Alroy being very clever and defensive, covering the inside line, which I think is probably the best move that he has done. If Michael decided to try and do an undercut, he would not have been able to do that. So pushing him on the outskirts was far better for Alroy, managing him to stay ahead of the game. So this is going to get very interesting. Another battle on the mix at the moment is Basset Dog
Good.
now being challenged by Grimjaw.
Yeah. Gee, so Vassadov must have made a mistake because Grimjaw was about 2.5 seconds behind the previous lap, and
Yes.
he's just run him in instantly, and he just looks like he has far superior speed at the moment.
Mm. So it's like I do wonder where and why and what has happened to the poor man. But in my head, I'm going like he qualified well, and then all of a sudden in the first corner, Basset Dog leads a race, which I won't say he's probably never done it, but if that was me, my heart would be thumping constant, like permanently. And then all of a sudden you see yourself moving away from the field and no one's catching you. So you go like, this is adrenaline 101. And now you have a man behind you trying to fight for that position that you work so hard for to get. So this man is under a lot of pressure, emotional damage throughout. Oh, there we go. I don't think that is plausible.
No,
Yo.
he was trying to probably go for the undercut and see what he does, but yeah, Grimjaw definitely looks like he's got way more speed than Bassadog at the moment,
Mm,
and he's looking for a way pass.
far
Michael
more superior grip as well.
Michael is luckily we can catch glimpses of it, but he's also all over Elroy in the background. So we're Bentley in first battling, and then you've got Bentley in third battling. So these boys are trying to defend their positions from a fighting Aston and Ferrari.
Yes, as Bassadog goes heavy onto the curbs, trying to exit in, and that will compromise his speed coming to the final straight. Now this is straight line speed. I reckon Grimjaw might descend it into the corner here. No, decides to keep his nose clean. Alroy and Stefanak as well. Still the same deal for them. It looks like identical twins, first to second, third to fourth, like you said. I mean,
Exactly. Yep, it really does.
I gotta get to the front end. As much as I want to go down there by Kudu Vaz and the Groene and Diverge, there's big battles still going on there. The front grid is very exciting at the moment. Half an hour gone of racing, still 46 minutes left. No one has jumped in the pits except RVR, who's decided to remain in the pits.
Yeah, he's kind of parked for the evening to watch the exciting race around him.
Hey, if you're gonna sit there, you might as well join us on the stream. FYI. Say hello, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's all true. Come and say hi. But yeah, so let's see what is going on here. So, yeah, Besser, Grimjaw going at it, Alroy and Michael going at it, but Gavpig is not making inroads. He's actually dropped further down. He's 2 seconds behind them now. So he's just not able to capitalize on them at the moment. And then you've got Kuda and Jakes that are running together, and then you've got the Kuda right
also
behind. So
in the
that's a
mix.
nice little three-way battle, and Kuda's definitely probably having a look quite soon. And
Yeah.
then with Alves, that's he's fighting with Hals. So yeah, it's all to play for quite a few positions here at the moment.
That is. Jakes is being very defensive though on all accounts. Like he is trying to keep both the McLaren and the Ferrari behind him. Again, he has got a bit of damage on him, as you can see. But I reckon so does Kudu and so does the Guder Herder. Tongue twister.
Yeah. With Bassadog and Grimjaw battling, they've Elroy has taken 3.5 seconds out of Bassadog. Uh,
So,
was 10 seconds behind. Now he's only 5.8.
so
So
everyone battling, losing time at this moment. That's probably why Michael has decided not to be that aggressive to Alroy. So again, realizing that you know what they potentially catching up to the boys in front of them. So rather not battle that hard with him. That's
yeah,
sort of why they're creating the gap. Gaffbeak in the
yeah.
pits now, so Gaffbeak has pulled the trigger.
First guy to blink. Let's see what happens.
And then that's quite interesting. 45 minutes of racing left. Whether he changes tires will be quite interesting. Um, I think he just pulled the trigger because I reckon he believes that we're not going to have rain, which to me doesn't look like it at this moment. Fairly cloudy, sunny, optimum
Yeah,
track conditions, 25 degrees C, so no wind. It is calmed down a lot. This is a full straight on race. And again, once again, we just do not see the mix of rain and sunny
again.
again.
Okay, so Kuda has also jumped into the pits. So Kuda is also getting the pit stop in early and getting it done. So it'll be interesting to see where the two of them eventually filters out as the race progresses.
None of them have had any damage or whatever, so they should be out relatively quick. Based on time, I think Gav is moving already out the pits. So that was a
Yep.
quick drop and pit. I don't think he changed any
Yeah, he might
tires.
have just taken fuel. I think he's probably
Mm,
just fuel, which is all that was really needed.
yes, all that was needed was fuel. Michael there at the back of the pack looking left and right, not doing much. Jakes, on the other hand, he is being like bombarded with the Kuda herd. If it wasn't Kuda Vaz, he's got now someone else on his rear end. These two boys are certainly fighting it out. Hals is there. Device, he's battling it out with Hals.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
ooh,
But,
ooh, yo.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I nearly had a heart attack there. That was close.
I think House needs a new pair of underwear because I
I,
think he probably saw himself just absolutely murdering poor De Goede there.
yes, I almost had need a new underpants there. These boys were that was close. Again, big ups to Hals too for stopping so quickly.
Avoiding that.
Yes, and completely avoiding it. I almost said pulling it out, but then I went, yeah, that's probably not the right terminology to use at the time of sim racing. Ooh, it's
Yeah,
going PG-13, PG-13. Here we go.
definitely, definitely. Well, Elroy and Michael seem to have now accepted their positions. Maybe waiting to see who's going to fit first and then try and lay down some laps. Grimjaw, he's now just sitting, seems to be just sitting there, that like half second behind. Oh boy, Kuda is just behind Grimjaw. Obviously lapped coming out of the pits, and I hope he does not get involved with the leaders battling now, because that is absolutely just going to cause chaos. And I know it's going to cause havoc with his race now, because he's probably on fresh rubber or he's taking his fuel, so he's got his own race to be running.
It does, but then again, we had a position change there. So Grimjaw has
Oh, there,
managed to
Grimjaw's
pass
top.
Bassa Dog in the mix with all that. I would say mix up, but I think
Yep, yep,
Bassa Dog just made a tiny error. Grimjaw fully capitalized on that one, missed it by a blink. Again,
yep.
Kuda there, as you said, probably shouldn't get in the mix there, but I know he would want to get ahead as far as he can because he was battling it out with Jakes and Fuda Herder. So the more time he loses, the
Yep.
the the
The
terrible
further
he's
behind,
yes,
probably going to be behind those boys.
exactly.
Uh,
So his pit crew messed it up completely, send them out of the box in front of the big front two fighting boys. And now he's got to work his way through. Ooh, as my camera needs to catch up.
there we go.
There we go. I just got to see what he's going to do. He seems to be far quicker though. Um,
Yeah, he does. No, he definitely looks like he's got more speed at the moment. Yeah, there he goes for it. Um, Bassadog, maybe not a bad idea. Just let the guy go. Don't get involved. Run your own race. If he does seem to be a bit quicker, so
so
um,
be it. Yeah.
maybe he can drag him along a little bit and get him back up to Grimjaw. Jakes has jumped in the pit, so that's a key pit stop there, because that's going to be interesting to see if he can get out in front of Kuda.
Yeah, that is a interesting one to see now throughout the whole season. I mean, I've never seen Jake's actually gone out and for instance fix his car when he had damage. So curious to see whether he will do it this time around or he's just gonna pick it up, get fuel, get out there. That seems to be quite a long pit stop
Yeah,
for
no,
just fuel. So
he's taking rubber as well.
hmm. And again, that's probably not a bad decision. 40 minutes of racing left. These tires, as we've said before, will degrade or degrade as the race continues.
Well,
We
they say Jake is down and Jake's pit stop is completed. The question now will be is he ahead of them?
well, he's behind Gaffby. That I can figure out.
Not
Kuda on the
really
other. No, he is. That's a
behind. Yo,
big leapfrog. That
he's, the only thing I can then think, maybe Kuda and Gab did not take tires.
yeah, that's a certain. Again, it doesn't even look like that Ferrari got any polish on the front of
Yep.
it. So
Nope. Maybe new boots.
probably if the car was lucky
Ooh,
enough to receive it,
he's showing 16 seconds behind Gavpig. That definitely is tires. That then is tires.
probably.
Has to.
But he and Kudo were battling it out before Kudo went into the pit stop. So look at the big gap between those two boys.
Yeah, and he's leapfrogged Kuda. Kuda's 20. Can that be 21 seconds behind?
Yes.
Wow. That's. This is confusing.
It is. I'd like to know what actually has happened. I'm probably gonna put my money on it.
You're
One,
halfway through,
um,
not over yet.
Jake's pit crew went, do you want Jake? Do you want tires? Jake's went, not in my life. They went, do you
Yeah,
want to polish the bonnet? He goes, never will I. And then I'm gonna win this broken car or not, and take it as it is. And that's kind of what I'm gonna go with because I have never seen this man fix any of his cars in any
yeah. So it
races.
might be that he just went with the 50% fuel, and 40 minutes is probably going to be about 15 or 16 seconds worth of fuel.
Yes.
So that does look plausible in regards to Kuda being behind him by about 20 odd seconds, but does not explain him being so far behind Gavpig. That's a
Yes.
bit confusing. And oh boy, Kuda is having a look to
On the
pass him for the
Yep.
lead. Well, past
Well,
leader of the race.
passing the leader of the race is kind of where it sits. But I think that's where that that probability came into play. So again, poor Kuda came out of the
Was
pits.
jumping in the pits, so that's
Yes.
good on him. Going to the pits now, halfway into the race. So now, again, is it tires? Is it fuel?
Is it tires? Is it fuel? Yes. But again, I think to play, ooh, big
Oh,
slide there by Kudavas makes a massive mistake. Gets off the racing line. A couple of boys are certainly going to pass him. So that is very unfortunate for that man. That brings us to J23 in his beautiful colors.
yeah, that absolutely looks gorgeous, Frank. That looks absolutely fantastic.
I'm going to do a voters poll here. Anyone that says J23 has got beautiful colors, do put it out there. Let me know. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, do whatever you want. Um, that just to me screams
Yeah,
banana,
that's
Paul
yeah,
Venter.
that's me.
Um,
That's me through and through. Absolutely awesome, right and in your face. Yeah,
again,
the
nothing
Grimjaw,
wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
Grimjaw and Bassadog in the pits.
Okay, so those boys are putting. Again, Bassadog came in afterwards, so
So
Grimjaw
Grimjaw
is
should take
leaving.
the lead, and
Bassadog
Bassadog,
leaving. Okay, so those boys fairly quick pit stops by both of them. It seems
mm,
like a bit of a gap
that,
again by Grimjaw.
yeah, that seemed to me that does seem like that was purely fuel, like
Yeah,
15 seconds of fuel.
purely fuel, 15, 16 seconds, not that much into it. Again, we still have five boys who have not pitted. We diverge currently in fourth at the moment, and again, this is preliminary fourth position. And he's being hunted down by Howls. Created a bit of gap between these two boys. So as the pit stops come out, gaps create themselves.
Yeah, that does seem to be. So now the final question will be is, will Michael jump into the pits with Alroy, or will he stay out for one extra lap, or will he jump in a lap before?
You know, I would
Who
go
blinks? Who
undercut
blinks
him.
first?
Mm, I would really go by an undercut scenario. It I'll give my blessings to Alroy Solano this race. He's giving it the best he can. I somehow feel the boys around him is potentially quicker than him this evening. Again, he's run a fantastic season thus far. But if I was Michael, I would probably go in the pits, come out, hopefully have clear air, put the laps down, and then leapfrog Alroy.
Yeah, that's probably the better move. So you're definitely getting your way. Yeah, you're on VDV. Welcome, bud. Welcome to the stream. Says like that is a bit too bright for his liking as well.
Really? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's beautiful, man. So says
Yes,
Paul.
yeah. Nicely done.
Oh, I just had to put it out there.
Nice.
Um,
But Are we coming up to the pits? No, not again. Okay, not
Nah,
yet.
still not yet. These boys are gonna hold it out for as long as they
Yeah,
can.
yeah, and then they've got Kuda floating about in the background. So yeah, it's time for them to get into the pits, man.
It probably is, because, well, I think Kuda Vaza's tires is now cooled down a
Yeah,
bit.
he's gonna have some nice flat spots on those rubbers that he's got on there
Hmm.
after flipping and sliding.
Now, where are we
Remember,
here?
he's 6 seconds out of Bassadog, so he's got quite a gap. And Jakes is ahead of Interlurshina. Okay,
Oh,
interesting. Oh,
big
Jake.
mistake there, but collides with the McLaren
Oh, that
on the
is
first corner,
that is
and
unlucky.
and then he exits the pits. I would not call that a pit stop, but that was a big slide there by Jakes, and I don't know who he came in contact with. I think that was
I think it was
Dives. No,
no, it was Interlurs. He was right behind him. It was point 0.2 behind him in the McLaren.
was it Interlucht?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's still. I think he's probably gonna. Is he ongoing? He's carrying on, but I think he might have some extensive front end damage.
Yeah, that is what we would call a harsh racing accident, because again, Jakes loses it on the apex of the corner. There's no means you can control your car, and then you've got the McLaren coming through the corner, and all you see is a car sliding, so you've got nowhere to go. I mean, that unfortunate accident.
Unlucky right there with
Yeah.
that. That was just he went right and hoping that Jakes was going left and just unfortunately met in the middle.
Not ideal at all. I've got Grimjaw here, and then I've got Hulse behind Grimjaw. Okay, so again, Hulse still needs to pit, um, from my point of view. Doing good laps at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's definitely he's playing. It looks like the rest of the boys are all playing the long game.
Yeah,
They seem to have fueled it to the max, and they just probably not going to take rubber, and they just going to run this as long as they can, and just take the bit of fuel that they need to get to the end of the race.
well, again, I would have probably done the same thing when if people would tell me it's a variable race, whether it will rain or whether it will not rain. Go with the mindset of fill it to the max, and see how far we can go with it.
Yeah, I agree. So, Michael is all over Elroy at the moment. Ooh, he had a big look right there.
That was a big look.
Massive look over there. But
Mm.
unfortunately, they've got Kuda again coming to unlap himself, which just adds to
Add,
the drama.
yeah, it just adds to the drama, because that just builds up more frustration. But then it does make you ask the question. I mean, Kudavaz does seem to be far quicker on the second stint of the race. Um,
Yep.
is he like wanting to showboat that, you know what? Ooh,
I think he went straight there. Could have went straight, trying to avoid running into the back of Michael. Yep.
oh,
There,
that.
over the grass.
I was
Over
like,
the grass.
is it lag? Is it that? That's a big track cut. Um,
Yeah, that's quite hectic. I wonder if he missed the wall there, and if he was lucky enough to just go straight and be able to just drive along there, not
yeah.
into.
Well, again, you can look at it from two aspects. Where one, he tried to avoid a collision with the two front running cars, so that's kind
Definitely
of
good
him.
on him
Yes,
for that.
but see, he's not having the best race he would have wanted. And
No,
I'm gonna sit back and just go blame your pit crew, because why did they put you out in the mix of all these front running boys?
no, I definitely agree. So Davies and Howells is in the pits. So that would just leave three boys in pit, the two Ferraris and the Bentley that's in the lead.
Hmm.
And it does seem does seem like those three are fueled for the max,
They
which
they
was which it does seem like that was our suspicion from the beginning of the race.
Yeah, I would have, again, I would have potentially done the same thing. Now again, they are they could be making up quite a bit of positions from their point of view. Because again, Kuduvaz has not had a great second stint. He's quick. He is phenomenally quick in the second stint. But
Yeah.
he's making so many small, tiny errors, which is pushing him back far more than where he wanted to be to Jake's. Jake's currently in seventh at the moment. Um, Now, if the two boys in front of him are gonna pit, he is probably gonna be, I would say, close. No, maybe not that close, but close enough. Oof.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the final three slots
Mm,
uh, in relation to the rest of the field. Um, I think it all just depends on what they do. But I mean, with 27 minutes left, I cannot see these boys taking tires now. I think they've committed to not change tires.
yeah, even if you had that thought, I would also go with it's too late now to do anything. If that was the case, you should have done it earlier on, um,
Yes.
to have the time to do big moves and big final overtaking positions. The everyone is fairly spread out at the moment. So we still have Alroy, Michael battling it out in the front. Huda keeps gaining on them like constantly.
Yeah, he's definitely quicker, and I can only think that's because they were running the heavier fuel load, so they've got a tire problem, and that might be the problem here is that they've committed to that fully, and
Mm,
as we've said, it might not play out when it comes to that 55-minute mark, which is going to be in about 5 minutes or so.
yeah.
The
Ooh,
oh, oh, okay, Michael's gone for the pits. I almost thought he made a mistake, but he's
no.
gone for the pits.
Michael gone into the pits. Now this is gonna open the door up on whether Alroy decides to play defensive to Huda, which we've seen he wasn't that aggressive the first time. Someone went past him, smashed in between. Well, not past him, but stuck their nose in between himself and the leader. So, or was it him? I feel confused. Oh no, wait, that was
No, that
Bassadog.
was
Bassadog.
Assetto and Grimkel, but that McLaren gets a much better run onto the
Oh,
straight there. So, and
far better.
Alroy is defending. If I was Alroy, I would jump in the pits on this lap to counter Michael that's in the pits.
Yes, that would be a very very wise decision. There we go.
Okay, he's
Kuda
letting him
going
go. There we go.
straight in the mix here, putting his McLaren in. I'm not seeing hazards from the man, so we gotta go. Where is your manners, boy? Where's your manners? Um, that's me kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, I agree with you. Alroy needs to go in the pits to do that whole counter thing. Michael is out the pits. Where did he come out from? Okay, Grim is ahead. Basset Dog is ahead. Okay, so not a lot has changed. Michael technically, well, come camera angles. My cameramans are slow. Oh, third position from what it looks like. So didn't lose a lot. He is miles ahead of
Yeah,
Gaffbeck though. Like that is
yeah. These pit stops have really confused me. I really don't get why these guys are picking up such massive gaps on each other.
yeah, like that is like very very far. Again, Gaffbeck went into the pit very earlier. And the gap is 12 seconds between these two boys. Like that is massive.
Yeah, I'm not shocked and confused, all in the same go. Yeah,
Oh, so am I. So am I. So again, if Elroy ever thought about staying ahead of Michael, I think those chances are becoming
gone.
less and less at the moment. Because
Yeah,
I think Michael's going to put it down now. He's going to go qualifying laps, bang, 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 hit the mark as best as he can. And then, yeah, you can already see he's closing the gap between himself and Bassadog. So,
okay.
Michael,
So coming. He's coming with vengeance now.
Yes, Michael, the leading championship driver of the season, is wanting to get a final podium to put it, well, put the nail in the coffin, um, and win the series. Like he's already got it won. Like in all fairness,
Yeah,
podium.
he's doing it in style, the way it
He
should be done.
he is doing it in style. I mean, for anyone that hasn't seen the points at the moment, you can see the performance of Michael this whole season. Wins race 1, wins race 2, had a not so good race in 3, but again wins race 4, and race 5 and 6. They stole 2 podiums in there, so he is been on the move the whole season.
Yeah, no, it's but hopefully, I will hope for Alroy's sake that it's not the case. But I think a sad dawning of the truth
It's
is going
among
to
us,
be.
yes.
Yeah, no, I do think so. But yeah, I mean, all he can do is just keep driving. If he's committing, I think he's probably going to go as far as, because the Bentley, as far as I know at Silverstone, can run 75 minutes on one tank
Oh, that might be very interesting. So
on
maybe
console.
less
On
fuel.
on console, he
Yes.
does not. On console, the Bentley can run 75 minutes. He's probably going to just need to splash and dash. So 1 liter in, out, done. And that might
Mm,
be his only saving grace here.
yeah, that's not something I didn't really think of. I was wondering which of the cars can potentially do it, but I can't recall because it's been a while since I've been on the console side. And I think for PC, you reckon it's the same or is it much harsher?
And PC, they've done some reduction to the Bentley's tank, but on
Mm.
console it can go to 128 liters or 135 liters of fuel. So it
Ooh.
can, it's a lot. So it can go. Where I think on PC it's been limited to 120, from one I think 130 or 135 is what it was on console.
Oh wow. Yeah, see that's quite interesting. That so 12 boys still left. I reckon we started off with about 15. Few of them have,
Yeah.
I would go, ooh, drive through for speeding in the pit lane.
For the for the goede herder. Oh no, shame, man, because he's just behind Gavpig.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Like, what a comeback for him. Just coming out behind Gavpig, way in front of Jakes. Oh, that's just gonna put him all the way back there again. Ah, what a that my heart is broken. It's
Oh no,
broken.
that just shatters your dreams for you, man. That absolutely that
Yeah.
like, I feel for the poor guy. But on the positive side, that drive through is going to probably put him close to Jake's, possibly. The silver lining for Jake's in the
Oh,
situation.
probably not. That's potentially not what Jakes would have wanted. Again, he battled so hard in the first stint of his race, and now he's potentially going to face that again. And again, 20 seconds is not that long. Yeah, they'll be very close to one
Very
another though.
close. I
Mm.
reckon that's going to be a close little group together there when he comes out, if he doesn't get himself another penalty.
Yes, that is also true. So that's just unfortunate. Drive-through penalty, very not a severe penalty as what we would normally see in other platforms. Um, so again, that you lose a bit of time, but not that much.
Yep. And now our eyes basically on Michael and Brasselberg and Grimjaw, because I honestly think between the three of those, any one of those three can probably still take the win. Well, I think Michael, if he can catch up and
Mm.
run his laps, and then just Alroy, I just don't know what's going to happen with him. If he's taking 1 liter of fuel, I think if that is the case, he might have this in the bag because he has a 45. Maybe not. Hey, 45 seconds is. I don't think. I don't know if that is enough for a splash and dash pit
Yeah,
stop. I
I,
don't
I
think so.
I don't know either. again, next time if Grimjaw comes back for our next season, if he goes back to his Audi, I'm probably gonna give him lots of stick because it just
Yes.
seems like him and this Aston Martin are in
Yeah, they
tune with
seem like
one
a
another.
much better pairing together.
Mm.
Okay, so the Footer's done his drive through, and no,
Oh,
okay,
no,
Jake,
he's behind Jake's.
is he
Just
behind him?
just
Oh,
behind Jake's. There goes Jake's through Maggots and
oh
Beckets.
yeah,
There
there he
is the
comes in the
footer right
background.
behind him.
Okay, so that's good to see. So now Jake's is going to be sweating.
Yes, so the Huda has an opportunity to gain back what he has lost again. It's just one position. It's doable within 5 seconds. It's in arm's reach. Still 17 minutes of racing left, so anything can happen. Huda Vaz, on the other hand, is quite a bit away. I think he is really, really fighting hard to catch up, though.
Yeah, I think his big spin he had
Mm,
probably hurt him. I think he would have been a lot closer to Jake's. I mean, because that he's currently about 14 seconds behind Jake's, and he probably lost close on that in that spin, and then getting damage. No, that was Jake's that had the damage, but yeah. So I think his hard charging was good, but yeah, unfortunately, that spin I think is forever going to haunt him tonight.
yeah, and
Yeah,
again,
Alroy
you
was in the pits. Alroy is in the pits. Alroy is out of the pits. Okay,
we missed that. We missed that. Uh,
he's
mm,
ahead of Kumjo by 3 seconds.
how?
So that was splash and dash. That purely can only be that is the bare minimum fuel that he needed to get to the end. Now,
Yeah, my brain
see,
can't compute at this moment.
now to see if Grimjaw's got the speed to get to him like he did in the first stint and get past him, because he did struggle for a good few laps before he was able to get past Alroy. So,
Ah,
and I
I'm
think Alroy is definitely going to have the elbows out, because this is what an opportunity to win this race.
I, I'm
But
still struggling to compute this. Like literally, I am speed. I expected him to come in here by Michael. Michael is only now at my
Michael,
favorite centered corner.
the only thing I can think is Michael either fixed his damage and didn't take tires, or he took tires. But I think more maybe he fixed his damage and took fuel and not tires. But if you add the seconds up that he's currently behind,
Wow.
6 plus 9, so that's 16, so 17. Yeah, that to me that says yeah, I don't know. I think that's damage. I think damage
And a bit of
and
fuel.
obviously the fuel, because he pitted just over halfway. So,
Yeah,
but
so
okay, Grimjaw is just flying. I mean, 3 seconds, boom, gone. Half a second, and he's all over Alroy. So I think
mm,
Alroy's in trouble here. Alroy is not going to be able to hold on to first place. But if he plays this smart, he's got a 10-second gap to third place. So
yes, and
I will back it.
that that
I
is
will
a
back
nice gap.
Grimjaw. Yeah, but I would not do what I did last night and kill myself and take myself off the podium.
Well, he is certainly going defensive, forcing Grimjaw to go wide on the outskirts, which we've seen almost being done by Michael. Did not manage to complete it. So again, elbows out for Alroy. He is not gonna make it easy for Grimjaw. That certainly looks to be the way. I am. I'm still speechless. Like that is a leapfrog. Like he leapfrog
Yeah,
three boys,
I
literally.
think he had the best strategy here tonight. Honestly, I think he had the best strategy. Well, his has played out the best, if we put it that way.
If we put it, yes, his strategy really played out very, very well. Ooh, as it goes too
Right,
deep
there
there.
we go.
Grimjaw
Grimjaw's gonna he's gonna
on there.
just well, maybe not. Yeah. Ooh, it's gonna get close.
Yo, that is brave for those two boys going through those corners side by side.
Yeah, definitely. Well, great respect from both of them, but yeah, Grimjaw's taken it. But I also do think Alroy just figured out, there's 13 minutes left. Let's not battle too hard because he's
Mm,
given up seconds to Bassadog in third. So
yes. He's,
ideally now you got to keep it as clean as possible to give away as least amount of time to Bassadog in third place.
well, I didn't expect that much fun and excitement from a racing point of view with the low grid on Silverstone, 75 minutes of racing. But I've got to
Yep.
give a big applause and hands up to the boys, Grimjaw, Elroy, Bassadog, Michael, Gav, Jakes, the Goedenharder, De Wijs. The boys have brought a great racing this evening. I was thoroughly impressed.
They mixed strats and their aggressive driving and a bit of taking a chance here and there, having Lady Luck play along. They've definitely made this race quite entertaining for us. And there's only 12 minutes left, so yeah, well done, boys. It's been entertaining once again.
It has certainly been entertaining and a phenomenal season to close it off. What are we doing the next time? What are we doing?
I haven't even thought about what are we doing. I almost want to throw in some GT4 again, but I know the guys just don't like the GT4s, so I don't know. Might have to just stick with the GT3s, but we've got 2 weeks to think about what we want to do and maybe do a survey again, see what the guys want to do, and just maybe get some feedback from some of the other boys to see why they haven't raced or some guys stopped racing, just so that we know, so that we go in the right direction and keep it
Mm.
entertaining as possible.
Well, in my head, I've always wanted to do a championship where all the races are at night, a dark night
Oh,
championship,
yes,
like
I like that.
fully dark, no rain, just dark. I
Yeah,
want it
just
dark, and the boys
I
have got
get
to
it.
race on dark, but qualify in the day.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my word. Yeah, that might just make it spicy all over again.
I again, I've always been keen to do that. I think night racing is really, really fun and entertainment. Now I know the console boys would go like, yeah, but they can't see and so forth. But if we do a split championship in the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and let's hope we can get a couple of Xbox boys in as well. I'm gonna put the word out there to see if people are keen for it. I've heard rumors that there is a bunch of boys from Xboxes that would want to do a bit of racing. Um, Only because there's hardly any communities that do that. And I'm like, but it's not that difficult to host. So we can get them all to register on SimGrid, one platform, Xbox, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and we call it the Dark Knight Championship.
You see, look at that. And we throw a Batman logo on top of it. Happy days.
Yes. I think we're gonna go do that. So everyone watching the streams, those boys are still on the stream watching it. The boys might not watch this afterwards. In the last 10 minutes of the race, we have now concluded your next
Yes.
season. Um, we're gonna call it the Dark Knight Championship. It's just it is what it is. What we do with it afterwards and how we're gonna develop it and what tracks it is, that's to be determined. So hold your hats, hold my beer, watch the move.
Yeah, this should be quite entertaining. Bring your yellow glasses so that you can see at night. Or put your TV on contrast the brightest so that your
Yes.
darkness is like light. And
Well,
while we've been chirping a whole bunch of hoo-ha in the background, Basset Dog has taken 3 seconds out of Elroy. And we've got 9 minutes left in the race.
so Bassadog is creeping in slowly but surely. Michael, on the other hand, has been maintaining the gap between himself and Bass. Again, I don't think he really needs to battle this hard. I think the boys have now sort of settled in, figured out, you know what, this is where it is. There's 8 minutes of racing left. Let's get this done and dusted. I can see the clouds are building up at the moment. Wind is picking up, but I reckon it's far too late for any rain to come in
Yep,
again. I
again, again.
I, I
I
need
don't know what
rain.
we're doing to try and get these races to be some rain. Man.
Yes, I just don't know. I mean, you gotta either force it or not. something I wish ACT would actually fix, but rumor has it they'll never fix it. They reckon they've got a flawless system, and I still think it's so flawed.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Jock, you are right. While we're sitting and talking about the stream, we've decided we'll build the next championship for console on the stream.
Yeah,
And
we're building the next one.
just about done.
Mm. And again, the success of that one will develop on the success of the PC one. The Dark Knight Championship on PC.
Well,
Mm.
it's the same like we did the Rainmeister series in the beginning of the console side of it,
Yes.
when it was a full-on race rain series. That was something completely different and actually a lot of fun.
It
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yes, it was. It was one of those things that I've enjoyed doing as well. You gotta get these weird mixes into it. I know we all love sunny driving weather conditions where you can go the absolute fastest with your car around the track as many times and be competitive and things like that. But rain races is what I say is where skill is needed. Now, dark ones is a different ballgame on itself.
Yes, that's absolutely true. A
Yeah.
dark rain definitely brings just it has a different feel to it as well, and
Mm.
because you to an extent can't see the track 100%, you just can't drive it to that limit that you want to. So yeah, it's definitely something. It's a different complex to it, a different challenge, and we just like to challenge the drivers. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
think it's
think
a great idea.
great idea. Yeah. I think for a poll, maybe we can probably just go list all the tracks for the boys, and we'll go the top six highest ones win. Give them multiple choices and let them pick it, and then they've picked their track. We kind of set the bar and go. It's all going to be dark. Your qualifying is in the day, so tune your contrast, and if you're good with your contrast tuning on your screen or TV, you better be good in between those two intervals, and then go and have fun.
Yeah, sounds
Mm.
absolutely fantastic.
Love jogs that the Dark Knight Championship rises. It does. Why do I like the sound of that? That was just literally something I thought about now. Uh, we should do this more often.
I know, but gee, man,
Uh,
crazy, 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 crazy.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, a beer, a great sim racing on console, a good stream, us jittering, chattering, and look at our geniuses and the brains just evolving with our great ideas. Like, we are on form.
And these poor drivers are going like, oh, geez, these two, listen to them, absolutely crazy out of their minds.
Oh, we
Well,
certainly
Michael
are.
has picked up the pace. He's taken 2 seconds out of Bassadog, and all of a sudden, there's only 1.5 behind him. Hello.
And in the closing scenarios, I thought it would have been the opposite because it did seem like Bass was catching
Yeah,
Elroy. That's certainly not happening. So,
it does
Michael,
look like Michael has decided he definitely wants a podium, or Bassadog's tires have just decided to fall over and die on their Bentley.
yeah,
So that's kind of just dropping him into the clutches of Michael. So yeah,
in some of the
might
weird
have
forms.
might
No,
have
hmm?
spark in the last 5 minutes.
Probably. I think I would be annoyed if I was Michael because the only thing he's been looking at the whole race is the rear end of a Bentley.
Yes, that's true. That's the only thing he's been looking at this whole race. Oh, jeez.
At least he has two different types of sceneries. One was very orange, and this one is mild white to black to orange. But again, that has been Michael's race through and through.
Yeah. Now, it definitely looks like Bassadog has got a tire issue. That rear
Mm.
of that Bentley did not look happy through there at
No,
all.
it doesn't. It seems like the faster corners he seems to lose a bit of grip here and there, which is making it very, very hard for him. Michael is going to capitalize on that if he makes
Yeah.
another mistake like that. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
at the moment it's I think it's a question of when, not if.
yes,
It's
that at
with
this point
three
it's
with 3.5 minutes to go. That's what, 2 laps to go. I think that Bentley is in serious trouble right now.
Yeah, that seems to be the case at the moment. I mean, they are the closest battle on track at this stage. Michael giving a big peak there, not brave enough to send it in. Again, you don't want a career-ending corner after racing for more than an hour, and then making a tiny error ruining your race.
Yeah, no, and I can see every time coming out the corners that Bentley's, the front wheels are not turning in the direction of the corner. It is absolute opposite drift lock
Mm,
through the. He's definitely battling the rear of that car right now. So
yeah,
yeah,
and he's very aggressive on all the curves at the same time. Like he's taking way too much apex curves on for on the Bentley. I'm not saying the Bentley can't handle it, but he's definitely trying everything to again there.
yeah, he's trying to use the curves to force this thing to turn at the moment. So
Mm,
he's definitely struggling. Let's see if that Ferrari has got a bit more straight line. It does look like the Bentley will survive this corner at least. But yeah, you see, like there, he turns in and it's just not turning in. It's hanging through the corner.
yeah, like it's not doing what it does. And again, that if I was Michael, I would try and set it up there and capitalize on that. That's where a good undercut maneuver is needed.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm like, ooh, just don't murder each other.
Ah,
There's probably only one lap left, so please don't do that. And
this
the Huda is back in the pits. Oh, that Ferrari looks second hand on the front end. Oh, that's sad.
oh
He's
that
probably, I think he's definitely probably calling quits on that right now because that front end just looks like it's been murdered all over again.
yeah. So he's in the pit. Oh, a bit too little fuel.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
might be that he's had to go splash and dash there.
hmm. And I reckon we are very close to the final lap of the race. So
Joel
yes,
definitely will be starting the final lap of the race now.
yeah. That Grimjaw will
Alright
start.
man, the
Yes,
leader is on the
There you
final
go.
lap. Give it a final push.
final push. This is where we wonder whether Michael will do what is needed on the remaining lap. I reckon Dog would not want to let this go. I do believe this is the best race that he's ever had. Like he led the race in the start. Um, and if that was me, I would be adrenaline
Yeah, no,
rush through and through.
I do believe if he can pull this podium off, that'll be a absolute epic result for him for this championship that he's done. So yeah, that
Mm.
would be a nice way to close it out for him. But yeah,
Yeah,
that Ferrari is all over like a bad rash on that Bentley at this moment in time.
yeah. I mean, if I have to put it in my there he goes.
There you
Michael made a
go.
big move in there, launched it in there, knew that that was the weak spot of Dog. Just as I said that the lap before,
Yeah.
capitalized on that. What a big fight there by Dog, man. Like he's had a lot of screen time this evening.
Yeah, no, most certainly. Well, I guess we probably need to jump over to Grimjaw. He's probably going to be very close to taking the finish line.
Yes, Grimjaw, that has had a great race, man. He's been active all over. Good battles between him and Elroy. Managed to leapfrog the Ferraris at the beginning of the race. Subsequently, been dominating all the way through. So, welcome back, Grimjaw. If ever I see you in an Audi again, I might send you a PK. That's my
Yeah,
opinion. It's just because I
I
love the man.
agree.
Um,
He belongs in this Aston. He is
yeah.
absolutely flying in this Aston.
Yes, and I can say the same for Michael. Michael belongs on a Ferrari. He is so
Yeah,
quick. I am
definitely. Yeah,
The leader
and there
has
we go.
finished the
Well,
race.
well done to Grimjaw on
well,
winning the final race of the
fine.
season.
Yes, and a great victory whatsoever. Alroy Serrano coming in second place there. Again,
The man, great strategy.
great
And
strategy.
then,
Michael in third, Bass in fourth. Again, those two boys battling it out the whole way through till the final lap. Um, If I was Michael, I would be scratching my head how Alroy Serrano passed him that far.
Yes, yes, definitely. I think he's like, but I think it's most probably the damage repair that he had to do, that he was forced to
Oh,
do,
yes.
unfortunately, due to some touchy at the start of the race.
At the start of the race again, that is very probable. Gav Big with his Nissan, the man coming to race. Again, big ups to him finishing in fifth place. Jakes Fatikakni.
In quite a bit of the wars. Oh yeah, but he got T-boned after his spin, so I think that's still from that.
Yes, that is from that. Diverge flashing his lights in seventh. Final couple of corners for him. I think that was just great timing though, man. Coming down the straight, flashing lights. There we go. Great race from this man as well. De Goede seems to have got an eighth, and Inter is still. Oh, he's made his move, so he's in ninth. Diverge in
Will be
seventh.
the last. There we go.
There we go.
Cross.
That
Well
crossing the
done.
line. Again,
Yeah,
that was actually a very nice 75 minutes of racing, eventful all the way through.
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, right at the end there, a fight for the podium. So
Yes,
what more can you ask for? I mean, that's absolutely fantastic. A guy finishes in second that had the best strategy out of everyone. And then the guy who just never gave up takes the win.
yes. Again, good race, great season. Again, thanks from my end to you, Paul, for co-commentating with me this season. I'm gonna go and give it a big cheers and thumbs up for season four. Uh, Paul Jacques has called it the Dark Knight Championship Rises, is what we're gonna do it. Um,
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Sounds perfect. To everyone else on the stream, thanks for you boys for supporting us. Thanks for coming in to this chat, saying hi, welcome. Loved it all. Pierre, Stradom, Jocks, Niall, Milos, who supported his teammate over there. Thank you all. We'll take a break for 2 weeks now to everyone there. Good night. God bless. Goodbye and have a good one.
Thank you.